What's going on, YouTube? We're gonna look at cars today and trucks. We got some new stuff. Well, randomly, in an extremely random fashion, I found some stuff on the pegs, Auto World, very unusual, and I found some more cat eye Silverados. So let's take a look at what we found and some special mail call stuff too. Let's get into it. Well, here's a cool car. You know, I don't always get this Mustang that Auto World does, but this one was good. It's kind of interesting because it was a petty garage car, you know, so you can get these cars. They're kind of like an upfit. You can get them from petty, or you can get them probably from a Ford dealer where they'll sell it with the warranty. This is a 15 Mustang Petty's Garage. And it says there are 100 Stage 1 Mustangs made. And they got Ford and Roush parts, Ford Racing and Roush Racing stuff. Supercharged 5-liter, 627 horse. You got a cold air, catback, and some other stuff. And there's a Stage 2 as well, with some better brakes. Two-tone blue and black. These are the cars. I won't flip these all around. These are all the same set. This is the first release. Got everything except the GSX Eclipse. I have the GSX Eclipse in the black, but this set had the gold. This is the version A of everything. So this came with the red Silverado. I have the green, so I was able to see B first, not A. Here's the car. Rides a little high. This generation Mustang I have with the Mini GT as a Shelby. So these are good. The casting is nice. The body shape is really good. It's just different. The front end needs to be brought down slightly. It's a little high on this car. I don't know if the base plate's just not struck all the way in or what. I have this casting in a couple other variations, and I don't remember it riding that high. It's got the wheel that they use for the Challenger and the Chargers, so the kind of double duty on the Ford. Now let's see what the engine looks like. Good detail. Hood doesn't open very tall, but there it is, 5-liter. I don't know if this is very modified looking. It's more stock. It's supposed to have cold air intake. I do like that they don't have the spoiler. I like the Mustang without the spoiler. Taillights painted. You got the petty blue. It's kind of an interesting looking car, and they tampoed the windshield. So there we go. Not too much to talk about on that car. Mustang, I think after 15 they had 2 refreshes. So now the 24 or 25 model year, or whatever they're calling the most recent one. That car is kind of newer. It's based off this one, but it's had a lot of changes done to it. All right, let's take a look at the next vehicle. Another Ford. I got this one. There's like a dark cherry red, but this is like the gray. They're calling this Leadfoot Gray. There you go. This is on this is a Lariat, but it's got like a sport package. These F-150s, you can get a lot of different combinations on these trucks. This is just one of them. So this is Auto World's newer front end. They did a refresh to the grille and the tampo process for the headlights, so it looks a little bit more accurate. This whole part of the casting is different. Let's take a look at the motor. See if this has the V8 or the EcoBoost. It's probably looks like an EcoBoost in there to me. Could be wrong. I don't know. Head looks like a 6 head. But anyway, 3.5 EcoBoost makes pretty good power too. 2.7 not so much, but decent. Basically casting the same as the old stuff. I don't know what they're calling them, 19s or 2020 Fords. big heavy casting. It's a fun truck to get. Great. If you can find these on the pegs, they're a good price. I mean, you can really spend 10, 12 bucks on these usually before shipping if you're trying to get stuff you can't find. But really, I mean, Walmart's got that agreement, and there's, some Walmarts, I guess, will stop carrying them, but the ones around here, they have them if you can keep an eye on it. I know that's increasingly more difficult. A lot of people will order the 6-car set and just pay the 40 to 50 bucks and do that and just be over with it. But remember, that's only for one version. And you gotta get the other version, so it just becomes ridiculous. So there we go. Ford. Now let's look at another car in the lineup. This is pretty cool. This is an interesting casting. I have most of the Challengers. This one is paying homage to this car, what they're talking about in the corner. I think a few years ago, this car was resurrected, unearthed, the story of it, where this car was taking on the local street, match racing and heads up and all that. They'd run the cars. So he had this car, but he never drove it unless he was ready to do business. And it was a good car. The Chrysler cars, when you set them up correctly, they were very, very, very good competitors. If you had, and I think this RT car was a Hemi car. I think it was. It might have been a 440. I forget. I remember reading about it because the car is basically unrestored. It was just the way it was, and it was cool. Black vinyl top, big block. I just don't remember if it was Hemi or 440, but it was it cleaned house. It beat pretty much everything it went against. And when you're racing back then, you had to be pretty talented to set the car up because you getting the cars to perform, hooking up and getting the tire and the suspension set up on those cars and setting up the front end. You still, to win, you had to have a pretty all-around vehicle. It can't just be horsepower. This has a hodgepodge of everything that Auto World's done in terms of like their equipment. So they have the wheels that they put on the Silverados. You can see how narrow these are. Car sets up a little high. It needs a back spacing correction. You can see how far in the wheels are. That's easily corrected. We'll just have to pop these off and put spacers in. So I think I'll get that adjusted. But I like the that pattern. I don't know if it was like snake or like gator type like skin down the vinyl. They had that more of a look to it. And they put the spoiler on. Black Ghost. Let's take a look at the motor, see if there's anything interesting under there. They've tooled up a bunch of different hoods. This is the twin intake hood. They got a lot of different hoods on these cars. It's tight, but it'll go. Well, sometimes with this thick paint, it gets real stuck. And it looks like that's a little stuck. So, we've looked at that before. If you want to know what the hood looks like, just probably go in a couple episodes back. We've done some Challengers. Usually it's the 6.4 motor with the blower on it, the supercharger. Is usually the one they have molded in there. I think they have a stock 5.7 or a 6.2 or 6.4 non-blown motor too, I think. But most of them have that blower on them. Or the supercharger. Alright, so there's this old Chrysler. Now, what are we looking at next? Let's see. Oh, here it is. This is one, out of all the cars, really the top two are coming up next. I didn't get the Mitsubishi. But this one is sweet. This is going back to the old muscle car days when a lot of the dealerships around the country, advertised themselves in relation to the vehicle. So they do, like, you know, race cars. They'd set up. Some of them would have the full Top Fuel stuff, and some of the guys would do the super stocks and stock cars. And then also do all sorts of racing. But this was very popular. The cars in this class brought a lot of eyeballs. You know, this was a real pastime and hobby for a lot of people, was souping up cars. I mean, this was just something that was from the 40s to the 70s, really, was a big thing. I mean, it started to die down a little bit. But this is to get your name out there. Royal Pontiac. This is a 69 Firebird 400 car. I don't know if they ran automatic or stick on this. I don't know about the Royal cars that much, but I know of them. They did the kind of drag slick look where they put the white letter in the back and then the solid black. It's the same tire, but I bet I could find a little bit of a fatter tire to put on there. It'd probably look good. Orange with white stripe. Clean car. No spoiler. Has the ram air hood. And fully dressed. I mean, it's got the full interior in it too. So some of these classes, I mean, really, they couldn't do too much to the car, other than what was factory variable. Like there's some of those competition classes. I mean, the car really was pretty close to stock. And this is one of the class. Firebird was a good car back then for this class. Pontiac motor was a little bit different than Chevrolet back then. You know, Pontiac 350 was different than the Chevy 350. But this is a good looking car. Let's see if we can get this hood open and not bust the blade off. Yeah, that'll open up good. This is a great casting. An old casting in Auto World catalog, but a good one. You can see they got that Pontiac blue block with the rear mirror hood. So the carburetor, they'd have this little plate that would go on the carb that would go against the hood and draw cold air in, but it also would be so you wouldn't drown the carburetor out in the rain. Beautiful. I'm sure they had that opened up a little bit on the race one. I mean, in this car, it's a stick shift. So we'll just go with it's a 4-speed car. Really cool. You got dual exhaust, leaf spring. Ride height on this car is awesome too in the front end. So that, again, that's why I like Auto World so much. Really cool car. All right, let's back this up. Now, these things, and I probably talked about it when we looked at the green one, they're just going crazy. I don't know why people like these so much. It's kind of funny. They're going just as crazy for these as the square body stuff. It might be because this is a little bit more relatable. A lot of people drive these still. You know, square body is still kind of going back now to more of like a hot rod or a weekend cruiser, but these are still being driven all the time, daily driven, so maybe that's some of it. Now, this is a cool casting. I didn't have to remove the rubber or the fender flares like on this one. They also have a different tire. This tire is super soft, squishy. This one's more, you know, vinyl rubberish type, like hard, like what most people are used to. This one is like, you can take it right off. It's almost like a silicone ring that you put on. I mean, it's super squishy. This makes this thing look ride like it has air suspension. You can see how easily it goes on there. So I didn't adjust the axles yet. So this is a vehicle that I did some shims. This one, no shims yet. So you can see how it can kind of not look completely 100%. So I'll try to fix this one soon. But the ride is great. I did have to take all these tires off and take the flashing. Usually on one side or the other of these tires, there is a bunch of nubs that don't get completely cut off. So you have to go through that with a blade a fresh one by chance, especially when the softer the rubber like this, the sharper the blade you need, or it'll rip, or it won't go through. So sorry for the close-up of the fingers, but that's what needs to be done, because what happens is if you have this vehicle in the package or on the shelf with those nubs, eventually the tire gets molded to that shape and it becomes a little wobbly. So it's good to get it done now. This wheel's got a little wobble in it just because they have barbed axles, and when you push these on at a wrong angle, they'll get a little bit of a wobble, so you got to get that off of there. That's the only way to really fix that correctly. This one had a 4.8 or a 5.3 Vortec. They had 4.8s in a lot of the short bed trucks, more so than the 5.3. You could get 5.3. More common when you went up to the LT. This thing's tight as hell. There we go. Luckily, I got a huge gap so you can get in there. But what's cool about that is so much aftermarket stuff on this. I mean, it's limitless what you can do. I'm more inclined to have a two-wheel drive slam than a 4x4. Although the short bed four-wheel drive truck's super popular and very rare, just because they weren't very useful. They were more for like someone that liked driving the truck more than having to use it all the time. I'd say that, 6.5 foot bed, it's decent. You can do a lot of things, but nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. I might with the motorcycles and stuff probably better get 8-foot bed, 2-wheel drive, slam it, and then when you put this down to get the bike in, nice and easy. Yeah, these are cool trucks. Although I probably said this in the last video, this generation General Motors, definitely go with the GMC. I like the GMC front end. It's more rounded. And they kept the same. I mean, the truck when it was redone, 98, 99, like to this, before it changed. I think this is like a 04, 05, 06, somewhere in there. Changeover. Yeah, 05, 6, 7. Then 7 and 8 that changed to the other one. But I like the front end where it wasn't so edged. These are cool though, just because how do you get this? You don't really see these trucks really anywhere else. That's probably, again, why people love these so much. Well, you can put your comments below why you like them. But I got it now, so now I got both. I don't have to worry about getting the other colors, and I'm sure they're going to have some cool colors coming out shortly. I still need to find or buy or get online the extended cab of this truck. So that'll be fun. Hopefully they do a stock one with these wheels. Right now it's a slammed, or like a kind of like a sport truck version. It's got the fat tires on it, so it's cool, but I'd rather see like a stock version. What are we gonna look at next? Well, I did find another dually, and we already altered it, so I'll show you that. Let's take a look. Coca-Cola. If you have to pay that $2 premium on these M2s to get the Coke, but sometimes they got a good truck. This one's another old 73 Cheyenne Super 30. And it's got the 59 Chevrolet XP86, that Corvette type race car thing. Let's take a look. I put a bed cover on this, and I took the tampo work off this truck. Now this bed cover is completely goofy. It's not real deal. I was just kind of screwing around with some tape. I had this pretty good flat black evened out, but I touched it, so I didn't want to repaint it yet because I don't know if I like it. What I do like about it is it covers the bed. So if the bed was on a higher chassis, you don't have to see how low that is. I did switch out the grill. The grill on this one was smashed. It was kind of like, it wasn't like smash, but it was caved in. The trim around the grill was like, had flat spot, like something hit it on it. So I had a parts truck. I just swapped it out. Another 73 grill, so we're good there. A little bit more chrome. That one was painted silver, kind of like the chrome look. Kind of goes with the theme. The red on this is nice. So Coca-Cola was on the hood and then the side of the door. Black interior, I left that alone. And then it had the semi-truck wheels. So it's pretty cool. It's got the hitch that's at the right height, so you can start towing with it. Yeah, I did kind of a bad job on this. Good thing is I used the acrylics on these, so they just come right off these enamel paints. So yeah, this looks good. Now we're starting to get some dualies, and they still have the metal base. The two-wheel drive dualies so far that I have, all plastic bases, unfortunately. Not very good. This, at least with the metal, because M2's metal is a little thin, it's nice to have a full metal truck. It's nice and heavy. Now, let's look at the trailer. This is the first trailer I got of this kind of silly exhibition trailer thing. I guess racers had these style trailers too. You know, they have this, and then they have their letters on it and stuff. But it's... I don't know about this. I almost might leave it just like this. I'm not even really going to take the car out. I think it's cool the way it is. It looks kind of like a auto show, something you do at the auto show. So this kind of barely goes down. It's going to bust open if I push it any further. And it's their universal trailer. That kind of looks kind of cool with the vet in there. But anyway, this will probably tow like regular trailers. I think I got like this kind of cool one here. That kind of works good. This is my all-around car trailer. So there we go. Beautiful little truck. They have a little bit better opening hood on this one for some reason. And they put like the LS7, 9, whatever, LT4 motor. So that's a supercharged Chevy block in there. Kind of nice. Probably 6.2 or something like that. So, cool truck. I like the red. It's kind of trick looking. I had my black slammed one, but I also flipped over the slam chassis to my two-tone because I'm kind of digging the look. So, I just kind of threw this one together real quick. I do like the black, though. The black's riding on the stock chassis right now. I think I gotta put it back to this one, and this one needs to stay. I just need to get another two-tone truck. Now that set that's out, that's probably gonna be hard to find, but I hope I come across it. I usually have luck with them too, even more so in Ottawa for some reason. But they have the two truck set, and it's like a red or orangish and white two-tone kind of set up like this. That's a stock ride height, so I really want to find that truck. Hopefully I find it soon. All right. Last, well, no, we got one more, well, a couple more. So, not too much more, but a little bit more. So let's look at this old girl here. We'll put this trailer down over here because really, that's very far away. That's a lot of real estate that thing takes up. Okay. Let's look here. I gotta find it. Oh, this has kind of caught my eye. Look at the box art on this. So Kelly and Son drag race car with like the psychedelic pattern. I like it. This is release 75, and this is like a one that you'd see at the other stores. It's not a Walmart exclusive. So yeah, this is pretty slick. So their funny cars are awesome. They got really cool funny cars. I like this 60s, 70s psychedelic stuff. It's awesome. Super cool. The chassis on M2 are really good. I mean, all metal. Even the body support here, that's metal. Kind of went over these before on a Mustang. I think I have a Mustang or another Charger or Challenger car that we did, but this thing is sweet, and it's got the headers really good. It's got the support there. It's got the firewall that's, sheet metaled out. This one didn't have a steering wheel, really. I mean, if we look at this, it's got the steering shaft, it looks like, but I don't see any steering wheel. Maybe the driver took it out, so it's not in there. But it's, it's got the roll cage. Look how rudimentary it was back then. Of course, this whole thing, they decided to do, Hot Wheels, I don't think even attempts to do something like that. So they do a whole insert for the interior that when you close it, it's all there. So it's sweet. I don't know if I'm buying this ride height or if we should just put an actual real drag tire in there. This is kind of playing the part a little bit, but if I was to find some drag strip Hot Wheel real riders at a good cost, this would be a good candidate for a switch because the body's sick. A little big, but I think a funny car was always not 100% like to scale anyway, so. But you see it under magnification, I really appreciate the pinstriping they're doing on this car and the tampo work. This is a sick car. It's really cool. It's got the mini wheelie bars. At the very least, I'll probably fix the back spacing on this. Maybe get it to drop a little bit. It needs to be a little bit lower. Look really slick if this was tucked in. If you see these cars, well, the modern ones anyway, I mean, the tire's in there because they get that car to hook and it's like really low. But this is kind of an older school setup, but the tires weren't that gapped. That's the only thing that's kind of goofy, but that can be adjusted. It's worth it. The body's slick. I think I have a Mustang one too. So we'll slowly collect these. I'm just going to try to pick and choose them. I'm sure they're going to really do a lot of these. Pick and choose the ones that kind of play the part. This one does. So there we go. All right, now the awesomest truck. I'm going to show you. I got two of them because I thought they were so sweet. Let's look at this that I did not take out of the package because I want you to do your studying. So take a look. Smoke box. How awesome. This is like a hobby release, so it's not just released at Squarebody Syndicate. I did get it from the website just because I wanted to order it from them. You pay a little bit more, but I thought it would be cool to get it from them. So they basically use the wheels that we all know. They just chrome them. And I knew when I knew that about this truck, I had a great alternative, and we're going to take a look. So here it is. As you can see, kind of alluding to, that's the tire, the wheel that they use, those chrome steelies. They might be chrome reverse. I don't know if they're just chrome or what. But it's got big power in it, and it's got those awesome steelies. Well, this is not steelies. This is hubcaps and chromed out and thin tires. Now, I got the stance right. So, Hot Wheels makes a really good steely. I've used it on this truck, which I painted them white. But the detail of these steelies is excellent. You can see the lug nuts and the stamping of the inside of the wheel. It's got all the good detail. Now, where's it going to fit? Well, it did. So we're going to make the debut here. So it fit perfect. And it fit so good, I never had to shim it. And I'll show you what I did. So I didn't alter the ride height one bit. I put new axles in. I drilled out the wheels so they would accept a standard axle. But you can see the detail of these rims. They're perfect. That's exactly the part we need to play. At least in my opinion, 1/64 scale. I can't get any really better unless you want to spend a lot more money. And she rolls perfect. The clearance is dead on. Back spacing is excellent, as you can see. They do smoke the back windows. I don't think the real one is smoked. I think they're just regular windows. I've been carrying this around so much, it's rubbing off the chrome. I did detail the front grille. These vans had that black detail in there, so that's what I did with this one. What I'm going to do is I'll find another van with the chrome. I'll swap the bumper out, and then I'll do my clear coat to this, so it won't rub off anymore. Now, this is the Chevy. Okay, that's their van. They had this one, which I think a fan did, or maybe they did. Maybe someone commented about it. This is a GMC. Now, it's got chrome, so this really should be chrome, not painted silver. That'd be another thing if I have a chrome grille. Chevy, though, not a GMC one. I'll swap that as well, and then do the same treatment so it has a chrome grille. If I see these for sale around, hopefully I find some more a little bit cheaper if they don't get sold out. Because I do want to get a couple to play with. There's a Chase that they don't have it weathered. It's like all one color blue. So that would be cool to find. Or just make one. Just take the acetone and just take off all the weathering, and it'll be a normal blue van. There's going to be more lowered vans, in different iterations. Not always going to be this type of thing. So I'm going to have to stock up on these wheels. These are common wheels in Hot Wheels releases, and you can find them. I got this off of the Cruella de Vil Hot Wheels. That usually is pretty cheap, but there's others that use these chromes. So they're great wheel swaps. They're one of the few Hot Wheels wheels that transition to premium, like detailed diecast, scaled diecast. The wheel works well with a variety of different size vehicles. And we're going to flip it over. So the stock rim has the post, so you could see how that's the stock. I didn't have to shim it one bit. Look how perfect it is right in there. It doesn't rub 1 second. The back ones I knew was going to be a little bit tighter, so I went ahead and sanded the back of these so there was just a tiny amount showing, so it would give me the backspace so the rubber of the tire wouldn't rub. And this does not rub. I can push on it like this, and there's no friction. I got it to be perfect, as you can see. So this van runs perfect and rolls perfect. It's got the blue interior, which is correct. This one's a black. These also look cool being set up, with a tow. So this one towing this one with the flatbed. So probably going to have to get a hitch for this. I think that's it. Yeah, I think we covered what we needed to cover. I found some good cars the past couple of weeks, so wanted to share with everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and finding the cars that they're looking for for their collections. Hope we gave some knowledge out in case you were wondering about certain castings. Here they are. More to come. A lot of good cars are coming out over the summer, so we're going to try to get them. At least the highlights for me anyway. And I hope there'll be the highlights for you. More to come. More content on Instagram. And links below for more MIGs. Thanks for watching. All your wonderful comments. Till next time.